Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm the Customer Support Team Lead at Yumby. And in this video, I'll be taking you through our Executive Dashboard report. As Yumby, we know your time is important and focused on the development and growth of your brand or restaurant. With that in mind, Yumby gives you the Executive Dashboard report that gives you an overview of your performance on the Yumby platform. To access this report, you would first need to log into your Yumby account, and from there, proceed to the reports portal. The executive dashboard is the home page of this portal. Now, the filters are fairly simple. We can filter by which date range we wish to view, which specific brand we wish to view, and what restaurants. Once we select this, the report will populate. Now, this report is broken up into several different panels. The first four being a transaction and sales breakdown, this being of all orders placed online or through a call-in Yumby-powered call center. This will display the turnover generated through the Yumby platform, how many transactions have been processed, and the average spend of these orders through the platform. Next, we'll also show a breakdown of deliveries and collections through our platform. This further breaks it down through call-in ordering and online ordering, whether that's through websites or app orders. And this breaks it further down into turnover, transactions, and average spend between the two. And lastly, we have a customers report that gives you a breakdown again through call-in and online ordering and shows you how many customers you've received through the filtered period and what percentage of those customers have actually ordered. Moving down to the next section of panels, we have call center performance. Now this provides a summary and overview of call center stats for the filtered stores. So if your store is on a Yumby powered call center, its information should be pulling through onto here. Now the first panel gives a summary of the following information. So how many stores are actually enabled for call-in services. Sorry, it's just refreshing. It does this every now and then. So wait for it to load. There we go. So call-in stores. So this amount of stores that are enabled for call-in ordering. How many of these stores are actually receiving calls? How many of these stores are actually receiving orders? And how many of these stores have missing data? So that would mean if something on our back end is misconfigured, there might be data missing, or there might be calls not reaching the store. That would be an indicator for you to investigate this, and this is why it gives you great insight into our platform. Next, we have total calls. So this would be the total amount of calls received by the call center for the period, how many orders were placed during this period, and then how many of these orders placed can be matched to existing calls. Moving on, these two panels are very similar. We have the order queue and the query queue stats. Order queue is when you press 1 when calling a store, and query queue is when you press 2 when calling a store. Those stats will populate onto here. So it would show the abandon rate for each queue, the order rate, the query rate, and also how long it takes for these calls to be answered and handled. Now moving on to the last section of panels, we have the delivery performance. This is broken down into two panels, which is the summary and track deliveries. The summary just gives us a general understanding of how many of the stores offer deliveries and how many of them have delivery providers enabled. The total amount of deliveries processed by these stores, how many of these deliveries were rated, and the average rating of these stores. Then lastly, we have track deliveries. On this section here, it will show what percentage of the orders processed by your outlet were actually tracked, what percentage of these were seen as valid track deliveries, so if the tracking was completed successfully, and then what percentage of these valid track deliveries had live driver tracking. Moving on, how many of these and what percentage were delivered on time, and then the average total time spent delivering an order and the average prep time spent preparing an order. As you can see, the executive dashboard gives you a great overview of your store's performance on our platform. I hope you found this video informative. Please reach out if you have any questions, and have a good day further.